What it do, everybody? What's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. We chilling. You already know what it is. We back here to search some more game on the grind for the Hungry Hounds. We just got the pounding and ready for the next round, man. With that being said, I almost just freaking that hurt it. But yeah, man. With that being said, hope you guys are having a good day today. My day's been alright. My day's been pretty chill, pretty regular, average day in the regularly scheduled program. Not much to complain about. It's a new day. People get mad about having to wake up to a new day. Um, and yeah, there's no point in getting mad, homie, because you're gonna keep waking up to the new day until God tells you that it's time for you to leave. And when it's time for you to leave, if you ain't right the way you're supposed to be right, you're gonna be facing an eternal punishment. And if you right the way you're supposed to be right, then you're gonna be facing eternal life. That's just how it is. That's the world that we live in today. That's what it is. There's a lot of people out there who wish that they didn't have to choose. If you didn't have to choose, you wouldn't be a real human being. You'd be a robot. Robots don't make decisions. They're programmed to do certain things. They're programmed to do the things that they do. We're not robots. We choose the things that we do, that we say, the actions that we act upon, the thoughts that we act upon, the feelings, the emotions that we act upon. We choose to do those things. Therefore, if you ain't right the way you're supposed to be right at the end of your time, you're going to be facing an eternal punishment. And that's your choice. Ain't nobody else's choice. See, people say, man, how can God sit there and send somebody to, down below? Uh, that it ain't him that do that. Y'all see the truck that's going behind me, but it ain't him that do that. It's your decisions that do that. See, it's like parenting. You tell a kid, hey, don't you jump on that bed. I just made it. If you jump on that bed, I'm going to spank you, right? You tell that kid what he's not supposed to do. And he has the choice to do it or not. And when he go and do it, he gets spanked. Same thing here. You told what you're supposed to do in life. If you don't do it, you get an eternal spanking. You do what you're told to do in life, then you don't get an eternal spanking. Instead, you are rewarded with eternal life. And a lot of people get mad about that. But that's just how it is. That's the world that we live in. That's the world that we live in. A lot of people can't stand that. A lot of people can't face it because they're not ready for the truth. They're not meant to accept the truth yet. They can't accept the truth yet. So yeah, man, that ain't what we're talking about. It's just a little something that I was ranting on. We're gonna go ahead and get on with this last topic, man. Um, if you got the spirit of spite, then you need open soul surgery. Yeah, if you got the spirit of spite in you, then you need open soul surgery. We're not meant to be spiteful towards one another. Spite and hate, deceit, any type of evil thought does not originally come from us. It comes from the one who has an obsession of becoming the eternal one. It comes from the one who originally corrupted us from the start. We were not meant to be deceitful. We were not meant to be spiteful, hateful. We weren't meant to be any of those things. But yet we are. Because we were tricked into believing that we could be. And now we are. See, if you got the spirit of spite in you, then you need soul surgery. And I say that because we're supposed to be kind to one another. We're supposed to be uplifting to one another. We're supposed to help each other out, build each other up. We're not supposed to be tearing each other down like these other rappers, these artists, these influencers, these news outlets be posting and covering. We're not supposed to be doing all that. We're supposed to be uplifting each other, helping each other out. There is positivity out there. You just got to search for it. Because they know that if too much positivity comes out, there will be a positive change. And they can't control people if they have a positive mindset. Instead, they need people to have a negative mindset, so it makes it easier to control their emotions and their feelings and their thought process and their actions. Then that's how you become a robot. When you allow other people to control you, then you become a robot. You don't allow nobody to control you, you can't be no robot. You can't be no dog on the leash if you don't allow nobody to put you on a leash. But if you allow people to put you on a leash, then you become a dog on a leash. That's just how it is. A lot of people say, oh, he said this, he said that. Okay? He said that. You're going to let that affect your emotions, your thought process, your feelings, your actions? Or you're going to carry on and say, okay, what's next? That don't got nothing to do with me. Keep going. A lot of people like to allow other people's words dictate their actions and their emotions and their feelings and their thought process because they're so easily controlled. When you are so easily fooled, you become so easily controlled. And that has been shown time and time and time again throughout history. But yeah, nobody pays attention. Nobody pays attention. It's just history repeating itself over and over and over and over and over and over again. Every generation has that generation of kids that are just plain stupid. Give up your rights. Give up your freedoms. Next thing you know, an extermination begins. That's what happened to the Jews. That's what happened to the Armenians in 1915. That's what's happening to the Armenians now. It happened to everybody. Give up your rights, your freedom, and next thing you know, the extermination starts. Now you're going through one of the worst kinds of pain you could ever live through. The only way to keep that from happening is by looking at history, what your ancestors did. Say, this is what they did. I have to do this to keep this from happening again. But no. Every generation just has that group of kids that are stupid. And that's just how it is. Sadly, that's how it is. Otherwise, the other exterminations that happened in history would not have happened if they didn't have that group of kids that were stupid and fell for the propaganda that was being pushed to them. What do you think is happening today? Why do you think there's so many things that are being taken away and implemented now that make absolutely no sense? Because this generation has that group of kids that are just absolutely stupid like the other generations did that went through horrible things. And it's just crazy to me how we can't sit back and look at history and say, this is how we stop this from happening. We don't have the mental capacity of doing so, which is insane to me. But at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. You can stand up with your voice and try to make a change. But if you can't make that change, nobody wants to make that change with you, you need to just fall back. Fall back and isolate yourself from society so you don't become a part of the disaster that takes place upon the people. Fall back and isolate yourself. Take care of your family and your close ones. Stay away from society. Because the disaster that falls upon them, it's going to be terrible. You ain't going to be there when it happens. You ain't going to want to be there when it happens. People say, oh, I can survive this, I can survive that. I'm a real one. I can do this, I can do that. Until it comes time to do so. Homie, I promise you, you don't want to be there when it happens. So with that being said, fall back from society so that you are not caught up in the disaster that falls upon the people who so easily fall into the trap that is set before them. You don't want to be one of the people that fall into the hole. Don't do it. Isolate yourself from the people who do. If nobody else want to listen to you and raise their voice too and change something, fall back. Isolate yourself. You know why? Because them people are going to drag you down too. Just by you being amongst them is going to drag you down, and you can't afford to do so. So fall back. Isolate yourself. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out of here. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. And with that being said, I am out of here. Deuces.